What if I were to tell you that there was a Goosebumps rival TV show that was adapting an R.L. Stine book series that absolutely flopped and fell on its head? You'd be like, whoa, BD. The legendary R.L. Stine, a TV show to rival Goosebumps? We got TV shows that are out there like that. Are You Afraid of the Dark was competing against Goosebumps.
Nice.
And Are You Afraid of the Dark was a banger. Correcto, for the most part. Haunting Hour was competing against Goosebumps. It was like the spiritual successor to Are You Afraid of the Dark. That was a banger. Correcto once again, because that is muy bien. Haunting Hour and Are You Afraid of the Dark were great competitors to Goosebumps. However, there was a TV show that tried to, I guess, be the new sort of big hype kids horror TV show to rival Goosebumps. And it was affiliated with R.L. Stine, just like Haunting Hour was affiliated with him. But this one was based off a different book series. This one was based off of a book series called The Nightmare Room. And this Nightmare Room book series, I would argue, is one of R.L. Stine's most, I guess, adventurous, out there book series in terms of kids horror, and consistently really well regarded on a similar wavelength to like Series 2000 Goosebumps books. But unfortunately, the TV show, it bit off more than it could chew, and its lack of budget, the editing, the direction that they went, unfortunately made it fall on top of its head. So let's talk about R.L. Stine's The Nightmare Room, the TV show.
I'm R.L. Stine. Don't fall asleep. Or you may find yourself in the Nightmare Room.
So, for those of you people who do not know, my name is the Horrorlander. I cover all forms of horror media, whether it be books, movies, TV shows, comics, you name it. And today I'm going to be venturing into kids horror again, but this time it's going to be for a discussion video, because The Nightmare Room is a TV show that I watched quite a while ago. I started binging through some of the episodes, and I came to find out that I am not a fan of the show, unfortunately. It was very hard for me to get into, very hard for me to be invested in, and that was for a number of reasons. And now I've been re-venturing into the TV show because we've covered some of the episodes on our Goose Junkies podcast. Shameless self-plug, go check out Goose Junkies. That is Goose and then Junkies, all one word. That's a podcast that I have. You will not ruin this video, Airplane Sama. Don't try to mess it up, all right? I'm flaming a kids horror TV show. I'm saving the day. I'm the real hero. You're just transporting a bunch of people across the globe, getting them to somewhere worthwhile. Whatever. Not all heroes wear capes, people, or wings. Either way, basically, I've been reviewing some of the episodes for the Goose Junkies podcast. It's a kids horror podcast that I'm a part of because I work with Goosebumps Completionist, Ultimate Goosebumps Man, and some other guest panelists. And we covered the episode Locker 13, which is a rough one, and I'll cover that in a bit. And we also covered Four Eyes, literally on our last episode. So I've been re-entering this world of Nightmare Room, kind of understanding some of its few benefits and then its flaws. So that's why I got inspired to make this video, which is that the Nightmare Room TV show is really rough. And what are the reasons why this TV show is so rough? First of all, it's adapting, for the most part, books. Now, there are TV original episodes such as Four Eyes and Scareful What You Wish For. And funny enough, Scareful What You Wish For and Four Eyes, the TV original stories, are actually some of the strongest episodes. They, for the most part, are good to pretty good. So that kind of gives you a sense that, they're adapting completely their own unique story and screenplay and writing, and that stuff ends up being better than them trying to adapt R.L. Stine's work, which, again, the Nightmare Room books are very positively regarded. From what I've read of them and from what I've heard people say, they pretty much are consistently good. They go out there on a limb, and it reminds me of when the Series 2000 run of books was happening, because those were pretty much consistently bangers. There was a lot of bangers in there, and Stine was really reaching for it. So this is basically a replication of that, and in some forms it's even more adventurous and out there than even Series 2000. Not sponsored by Pepsi, but always looking for that dinero. So, Nightmare Room books were very high quality. So that way, when you have to adapt a TV show off of those well-regarded books, there's a lot of pressure. I mean, there's going to be a certain level of expectation. People are going to think that you're going to put in a lot of time and effort to try to make it look good, especially if you're trying to replicate the success of the Goosebumps TV show, which is very much iconic in the 90s. And guess what happened? It did not go so well, because what ended up happening was that these episodes ended up being poor quality. They ended up having poor editing, and a lot of the time they had poor effects. So that ends up kind of dragging down the show and making it very disappointing, because now you got all these people who were maybe excited about this new venture of a kids horror TV show. Maybe they're fans of the Nightmare Room books, and then they end up getting disappointed. And for the most part, I'm pretty sure not a lot of people know about this TV show. Only the real nerds who really venture into kids horror. I mean, who the hell would do that type of shit? Why are you looking at me? Either way. So, let's talk about some of the negatives involving this show. The first thing is the pacing, the editing, and the way they structure these episodes are oftentimes extremely bad, yo. The editing and pacing in these episodes always seem to be way too rushed and way too choppy. Which, if you've seen the Goosebumps TV show, if you've seen Are You Afraid of the Dark, if you've seen The Haunting Hour, they have parts of episodes that do feel sometimes rushed, especially some more than others. But for the most part, people like the show because they can get along with the pacing. Even people rewatching the show for the most part don't have a problem. But when I watch those type of episodes and then I see Nightmare Room episodes, the pacing and the editing is so sloppy that I feel like I'm watching like a flash montage. That's what it feels like. It sometimes ends up feeling like more like a montage than an actual well-constructed, thought-out episode.
No! You cannot defeat me. I want Jeff to be my new slave.
And that takes me out of it because I don't feel like I'm invested into anything. I don't feel like they're actually taking the time and effort to figure out the pace, slowly get you ingrained within the story. And although that may not seem like a big point, you have to understand that pacing and editing a lot of the time is what helps you get invested within the story. You know, editing and pacing can sometimes help build up tension. It can help build up suspense. It can help do sometimes slow burns. You can start off getting character development, introduction to the settings, and then as the story progresses, you unveil the plot, you unveil the mystery, you unveil the tension, you unveil the villains. But if you take a really sloppy approach to that, all that replicated basically atmosphere and effect that you want to give to the viewer effectively goes down the drain. And there's examples of that in this show. But basically, that's a big problem about it, is that if it feels so flashy, if it feels so montagey, if it feels so choppy, not really many people are going to feel like they're watching something of high quality or something that's taking its time. It just is what it is. Another downside to this show is the effects, y'all. And I'm just going to post a clip from the Howler episode, which is widely regarded as one of the worst episodes in the entire show, if not the worst episode in the show, rightfully so. I'm going to throw in a clip from the Howler, and you're going to see the visual effects that rivals Marvel, man. Yo, Marvel ain't got shit on the Nightmare Room. Yo, all those Japanese animators that are working on shows like Jujutsu Kaisen and One Piece and losing sleep and working like 16 hours a day with no food, no water, and just a cot to sleep on, and you guys are pumping out this work that looks absolutely amazing in terms of animation and effects. Yeah, y'all ain't jack shit. Fuck y'all. Just kidding. But yeah, that shit ain't got nothing on Nightmare Room. Check this out.
It's them. The kids from the pit.
Yeah, that looks pretty rough, doesn't it? Cut to the Zuko from Avatar. Oof, that's rough, buddy. That visual effect basically shows the poor quality of the show. In fact, it's so poor quality that these airplanes won't leave me alone. I told y'all to give me a break, man. What's up? What, everybody's got to take a trip to the Bahamas? Oh, there's 2 planes.
Wow.
Oh, there's 2 planes. Yo, are y'all buddies? Are y'all doing synchronized flying? Y'all are doing drills together for real? I guess some people got to go to the Bahamas. Not everybody's in their backyard recording videos, talking to themselves, looking crazy in front of the neighbors. Yeah, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Yeah, this show's visual effects does not help people's perception either, because again, it looks really low quality, it looks really bad, it makes it really easy to make fun of. And if people saw the editing and the pacing and then they see this type of visual effect, they're gonna be like, yo, holy shit, this is not worth my time. And that's why the show ended up getting forgotten about in the bowels of time, yo. Like, people, as time have gone on, remember Are You Afraid of the Dark? They remember Haunting Hour. They remember Goosebumps, because those shows bring forth the quality. You know, you get these really good monster special effects. You get this good practical makeup. For the most part, you got good pacing, good editing. You got really well thought out stories and really well done. And like Are You Afraid of the Dark? There's no book series to adapt from. It's all original ideas. The Haunting Hour, it only adapts a few episodes, or a few books, I mean, from the Nightmare Hour short story collection. And I think one story from the actual Haunting Hour short story collection, which, by the way, is one of Stine's best books he's written outside of Goosebumps. Just gonna say that up front. One of my favorite R.L. Stine books ever. So they got a lot of original content, a lot of original screenplays, a lot of original writing. And the Goosebumps TV show, even though it's adapting a bunch of episodes, they have a bunch of things where they go different directions, you know, or they might faithfully adapt it and try to do the best they can. You know, for the most part, you got good head on the shoulders for who's running these shows and operating them. But for the Nightmare Hour, yo, it feels like some bootleg project, bro. It feels like that. It feels like everybody in the class that you're in, like if you had Goosebumps, Haunting Hour, and you had Are You Afraid of the Dark in the same class, and you got, oh boy, Nightmare Hour in the back, or Nightmare Room in the back. It's like everybody up here, like the teacher informed them, all right, you got 2 months to work on this project. Please make sure to start early because you're gonna need the time. So you got Are You Afraid of the Dark? You got Haunting Hour. You got Goosebumps. They all took the full 2 months. They took their time. They took the effort to make it good. And then you have, oh boy, Nightmare Room in the back. He waited till the last 4 days. He waited till the last 4 days to start working on the project. And then when he goes up there to present it, the quality shows and people are like, oof. And you know, you ever see that in a school presentation where you know the dude rushed last minute and then you literally watch it and you're like, ugh. Yeah, I feel bad for him. Even though it is dog shit, I feel bad for him. I may or may not have been that guy. Listen, I was a W bullshitter, all right? Even if I had 4 days, I made that shit. Literally, there's so many times in school that I literally made presentations that I did, and literally a tenth of the time that everybody else took look a lot better than theirs. So that's just because I've mastered the art of bullshitting, which is why I make a bunch of bullshit videos for you guys that you're watching right now. Which, thank you, by the way. But yeah, for a TV show, you can't do that. And this show took so many shortcuts that unfortunately it very much hurts its perception and reception to a lot of the community, a lot of kids horror fans as well. And finally, even with star power, that doesn't help the show either, because Dear Diary, I'm Dead, it actually features Drake Bell. That's right, Drake from Drake and Josh. And I don't know the actress's name, but she played London Tipton from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Love both of those actors, although Drake Bell, he hasn't aged the best considering some stuff involving him. But as actors on those shows, I like them. And when they appear in the episode, their acting is not that good. The script that they were given, the dialogue they were given, the direction they were given, it was not that good. And the acting was pretty rough. So even that doesn't help the episode. When you're watching the show, there is a lot of rough acting for the most part. And actually the best acting comes from the original episodes, the TV original stories. Four Eyes and Scare for What You Wish For, who has Shia LaBeouf in it. They are the best actors. I mean, just look at how excited this man Drake Bell is about finding this diary that tells the future. Cut to it.
57. No way. I know
Yeah, listen. Drake, look at me. Drake. Listen, man, I'm rooting for you. You're one of my favorite kid actors when it came to Drake and Josh, bro. What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me, man? You're making me look like shit. What is this? Yo, Drake, that was not good. And there's, I don't know, man. It's just the acting throughout that episode is not the best. It comes off as like really amateur, really low effort. Maybe Drake knew about the quality of the TV show and really didn't give a fuck. I don't know, but that's what it seems like. And again, like I said, you know, the Nightmare Hour books are very high quality from the ones that I've read. Like Locker 13, I'm not the biggest fan of cursed object stories, but Locker 13 is a pretty well-paced story. It's like Locker 13 is a better version of Be Careful What You Wish For. Sorry to all the Be Careful What You Wish For fans, but it's a better version of that book overall. And the villain, the Fate Master, reminds me of like Dark Danny from from the Ghost Next Door. Yeah, Ghost Next Door. So it had some good qualities, some Goosebumpsian qualities in there. And even in like the climax, you got like lightning bolts being shot at the main character and some crazy stuff. And then you look at the episode, and the episode is so poor quality, so choppy editing, so sloppy, so lackluster. And the main villain doesn't even look like Dark Danny. He looks like Lord Palpatine's struggling brother. Like, Lord Palpatine's struggling brother had to get a gig. He couldn't get, working with Star Wars, so he had to go to this show. RP to you. And then like there's a book called Shadow Girl, which I read, which is arguably one of Stine's best superhero stories. I mean, a lot of the superhero / superpower stories that he writes is like Attack of the Mutant, the Ooze, a Dr. Maniac and stuff. And that ends up a lot of the time being very comical, being very goofy. He doesn't take it seriously. It's more like parodying the comic genre. But Shadow Girl actually felt like a genuine superhero origin story. It was really well paced, really well written. You had fantastic character development. You had really good dialogue. You had a lot of great stuff that was involved. Oh damn, an actual eagle. Oh shit, look at that. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a actual like eagle flying through the sky. An actual hawk. Pretty dope. I don't know why. The hawk, what's crazy though? The hawk flew away. The eagle / hawk literally flew away because it got sick of this Nightmare Room talk. So apologies to you, Mr. Eagle-san. But yeah, the Shadow Girl book is really well paced, really well written. It's got really like amazing just character development and some really cool fight scenes even. There's like a gas station fight scene that reminds me of like a Spider-Man fight scene you'd see in a movie. That's all really, really great stuff. And then again, the quality of the show does not fit that. And I also just want to insert a clip before I wrap up this video. This has got to be the most well-timed clip I've ever seen, where basically the main character of Dear Diary, I'm Dead is about to get ran over by a car, and you got the most amazing commercial placement that I've ever seen. Look at this shit.
Diabetes is complicated enough.
Yeah. Forget getting run over by the car. Forget getting smushed across the pavement. Nah, bro. Diabetes is a serious deal. Even when a kid is getting run over by a motor vehicle, Pepsi is still getting slandered and yet somehow promoted in the show. Crazy. And with that, I take my final swig. It's really all I got for today. Now, again, as I recommend with any of the stuff, I suggest that you check out The Nightmare Room, check out the TV show, see how you feel about it, read some of the books, and then come to your conclusion. Because at the end of the day, these are my personal thoughts. This is my personal opinion. I'm not a fan of the show. I know a few other people who aren't really fans of it, but you might be a fan of it. So again, watch it, come up with your own opinion. Let me know down below. Have you seen the show before? Have you not? What are your thoughts about it? If not, check it out, and then let me know. And most important of all, I am the Horrorlander, and if you like this type of content and you want to see more of it in the future, or you want to check out some of my old videos, hit that subscribe button. That's very, very important. It helps me build up my community. double smash that subscribe button, double smash that like button. Well, don't double because it's gonna unsubscribe. So just single time smash that subscribe button, single time hit that like button, and then share my videos to other people if you feel like it's good content. It'd be very generous. Show your family, show your uncle, show your grandma, show your nieces, show your dog, for all I care, as long as they hit subscribe. And stay tuned for more content to come, or check out my channel and check out the other kids horror content that I make. And all I gotta say left is have a blessed day, and make sure that there are not airplanes, birds, or other airborne things that are trying to interfere with your greatness, okay? Because listen, man, all I'm gonna tell you is some of these birds are getting the fade, bro. Listen, I can't catch them in the air. Finna get turned into roasted chicken, bro.